In today's video, we're going to talk about Cutefish desktop environment, a brand new Linux desktop with amazing looks and modern design. Myself Mohammad Zubair, and this channel is all about showing you how to become a highly paid IT pro really fast. So without any further ado, let's get started. Cutefish is an upcoming desktop that will be completely different from any Linux desktop environment. It has a clean, beautiful, intuitive, and modern design. This desktop is built using the Qt Quick framework and KDE Plasma 5. It is based on Debian and only the beta version is available for testing. This desktop environment is not available for general use. At the moment, Cutefish is available as an install for either Arch Linux or Manjaro, or you can download a testing version of Manjaro that includes Cutefish pre-installed. I would not recommend you to go that route. Instead, you should download the pre-built version and install it on a virtual machine. This way, you will get the whole and real Cutefish experience. The idea behind this desktop environment is to provide Linux users with a desktop that has all the necessary things and it is easy to navigate and use. They also focused on leaving out the complex things that might overwhelm and affect the user. And one of the focused areas from the developers is simplicity and presenting everything in a better way to the users. So let's talk about some of the features and interface of this beautiful desktop environment. The desktop is very stunning and heavily inspired by the Mac OS, as you can see. And as you can see, we have the same icon pack and themes. And Cutefish has not even tried to hide this fact. And I think there is no harm in it. At the bottom, we have a very polished and clean dock. And all the icons are like the ones in Mac OS. And here we have some of the application. You can easily add any application to the dock. For example, let's say I do not have my terminal in my dock. To add your terminal into the dock, here we have launcher button, so I will click on it and now I will search for terminal. Here I have my terminal. So you just need to right click on that application and click on pin. You can add as many applications into the dock as possible. At the top, we have some of the utilities as you can see. For example, we have a volume button and along with that we have power button. If you just click on any one of these, from here you can control your networks. At the moment I am using the light mode. You can switch through the dark mode and then you can have your volume controlled. Other than that, you can log out, shut down, reboot your system from here. And here we have setting gear. You just need to click on it and it will open the settings of this system. Here you can see. Along with these two icons, we have our time here. If you just click on it, it will open our notification center as well. At the moment, we do not have any notification. That is why it says no notifications. Now I will open some of the application and then I'll talk to you about some really important things. So I'll open my file manager, I'll open my terminal, I'll open my trash. Here I have opened 3 of the applications and now if I press Alt plus Tab to shift through the apps, this is a really cool thing. In other desktop environment, we did not see anything like that. Here it shows the transition when you shift through between the apps. So that's a really cool one in terms of the interface. And now the thing that I want to talk to you about is desktop backgrounds. I will right click here and here we have change background. Cutefish possess a lot of desktop backgrounds that you can choose. At the moment the default one is the first one, then you have other options that you can go through. I'll choose the second one for the time being. And then you have other options on the left side of your settings window. Well, I really wanted to discuss settings of Cutefish in particular, so let's discuss that one. Other than the backgrounds, we have display here. And as you can see, we do not have a lot of things in terms of the display. And I think that's the beauty of Cutefish. Why it is a beauty? I will talk to you about this one in detail. Then we have our appearance, and in your appearance, you can either choose light mode or you can go for dark mode. Other than that, you can have your accent colors and you can have your dim wallpaper in dark theme. The thing that is really good in this one is dock. If you just click on it, it gives you two options in terms of style. At the moment it is in center, but you can have full dock as you can see now. It is just like the one we get in Windows 10. Then we have position on the screen. First of all, I'll stick with center. Then here you can shift it through the left or you can shift it through the right. If you remember, in Ubuntu Linux distribution, we have the dock on the left side of our screen just like that one. So people who love to use GNOME and Ubuntu can have this setting for their dock. Other than that, you can have different sizes. For example, at the moment we are using the medium one. Other than that, you can have the large or you can go with the huge size of your dock. After dock, we have some other things, and you will notice that we do not have a lot of things that we can perform in terms of any of these options. For example, if I go to my notification, I only have one option that says do not disturb. Then we have our sound, mouse and rest of the things. Now, I'll talk to you about default application, and I will also tell you that why we do not have a lot of option in terms of each of these sections. Well, we do not get a lot of applications in Cutefish by default. If you just click on your launcher button, we get Chromium web browser as a default web browser in Cutefish. Other than that, we have calculator, archive manager, and for our PDF file, we have document viewer. We do not have LibreOffice or any other office tool that we can use, and that's really surprising. Then one other utility that is really useful is screenshot. You can take screenshot and you can have different dimensions of it with the help of this utility. And the other one that can be very prominent is image viewer. Well, the reason behind having this minimalistic approach by the Cutefish is they have tried to keep as less but powerful options as possible, because as we have seen in some of the distribution, we get a lot of customization option, and that sometimes makes the distribution a bit complex. So in that aspect, Cutefish has done a tremendous job, because let's say you are a newbie and you are going to use Linux distribution for the first time. So obviously you will want to have as less options as possible, because you do not want to get lost in new operating system. And that is why Cutefish only offers those options that are really necessary. For example, if you go to your background, it only asks you what type of background you want to choose, and if you want to choose a color, you can go to that section and just select a color. In other Linux distribution, you also get some of the other options with your background. But as Cutefish want to keep things simple but powerful, that is why they only offer you the important options here. And that makes Cutefish a really good and really acceptable desktop environment. So that was all about the default application and the reason why we do not get a lot of applications and why we do not have a lot of options in terms of each application. If you see on the top bar, here we have the name of the application along with its icon that is currently open. We are opening the settings. So if you just right click on it, you can close this from here. But if you open your Chromium web browser, it will give you a lot more option than just closing this one. Here you have your files, you can open new tab, new window, you can go to incognito mode straight from here. And then you have all those options that you will get inside the Chromium web browser, but here you are getting everything on the top bar. And that's a really cool thing in terms of the usability from Cutefish. And now I will talk about some of the system information itself. For that, I will use a utility, and the name of that utility is NeoFetch. Well, this utility doesn't come as pre-installed in Cutefish. I have already installed it, so I will just press enter. Here we have all the information. Well, as I have mentioned earlier, Cutefish is based on Debian. Then in terms of kernel, it is using 5.10. Well, that's not the latest one, because we have seen that Endeavour uses the 5.15. But as it is in testing phase and we have the beta version, so we might see the latest kernel version. Then we have the uptime information. It has been up for 20 minutes. Then we have our packages. At the moment, it is using dpkg, which is obviously based on Debian. So it has almost 1200 packages present in it. Then in terms of shell, we are using the bash 5.1 version. Then we have resolution information. And then at the bottom, we have themes, GPU, CPU, and memory information. Well, I wanted to talk to you about the resource utilization from Cutefish. Well, I'll show you this one in more detail. For that, we have a utility known as htop, but that also doesn't come as a pre-installed. But I have already installed the htop, and here we have all the information about the processes, users of those processes, and percentage of resources that is being used by each process. At the top, we have information about number of tasks and threads that are running at the moment. Then we have our load average, and here we have memory information. Well, at the moment, my system is using almost 960 megabytes of my RAM out of almost 3.8 gigabyte. Well, that shows that Cutefish is not resource efficient as it should be, as we do not get a lot of things in it, we do not have a lot of applications. But obviously, as it has intense interface and a beautiful icons and themes, so that might be the case that it is using this much resources at the moment. As we all know that it is in beta version, so we might see the improvement in terms of the resource usages in future. So that was all about the resource usages. And now at the end, I will just show you that how you can download this one and you can test it for yourself. So you can follow this link, which is en.cutefishos.com, and from here you can download. As you can see, it says download 0.7 beta version. So just click on it. It will give you two options. Either you can download it from Google Drive or you can download it from Mega. And that was all about this video. And I hope now that you have learned a lot of new things about this particular desktop environment. So please leave a like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care.